Well, we are on. Hi, everyone. Welcome to another High Masterclass, our High Masterclass number 35. And today we have our Masterclass master with us. Pedro Oliveira is here with us to make like a part two of our High Masterclass number 12 that we did it 2 years ago? I guess it was 2022, June 2022.
Something like that, yes.
Yeah, and today we are here for our part two, where we are going to talk about more OutSystems front-end tips. And Pedro is here to guide us through this masterclass. Hi, Pedro. How are you?
Hello, João. How are you? I'm
Yeah,
fine.
I'm fine. I'm ready to kickstart this. And for the
Yes.
ones that watching, don't forget to hit a like on this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have plenty more content like this prepared for you to and next month we'll have a full month of content like this on our YouTube channel, and we are counting on you to stay tuned for that. Go and see High Interactive social media. We are going to update you with everything we have prepared for you on our YouTube channel. And with that said, Pedro, let's go to our presentation here.
Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go. So here it is. Today we are going to talk about more AdSense and front-end tips with Pedro. For the ones that like to have a full guide of this presentation that Pedro is about to make, go and scan this QR code or check the link on the description of this video. You'll get to the blog article that Pedro wrote about this subject. And yeah, Pedro, let's kickstart this.
All right. I'm ready.
Let's go. Let's go.
You want to ask anything?
Maybe yeah. I before you start, I should ask you what is the purpose of this high masterclass
Okay.
besides like being a part two of what we did 2 years ago.
Yep.
What's the main purpose of we been doing this for this month's masterclass?
Yeah. So that basically brings me to the first slide of this presentation, which
Okay.
is why talk again about iconography. And I was thinking about a subject for this masterclass, and I realized that, well, almost in every project, it's very frequent to deal with iconography when implementing participating in a project or developing a UI theme for clients. It's very frequent to deal with this, and on top of this, probably more than 80% of the projects, we have the need to create or to customize a set of icons. Okay. And on top of everything, OutSystems, it's a good platform, but in terms of dealing with icons, it is not the best one. Okay, there's kind of a fail there because it's not simple, or there's not a very direct way or simple way to implement an iconography font, a font face. Okay, if we are talking about changing the font face for text, that's easy, but to implement a font of icons, it's much more complex because we need to document everything, because the developers, if they don't know what icons they have available on that font, they need to find them. They are not going to know every class they need to use. So it's not easy inside OutSystems to display or to implement a font of icons. Okay, so that's why we are talking about this. And the question is, well, okay, that's fine, but is there a way, a quick way and very easy way to implement more than 400 icons spending just a couple of seconds, or is this a very complex, uh, or I can do this in like 8 hours? I need 8 hours to implement this. And the answer is no, you don't need more than 1 hour, let's say, to implement a font face with icons and to document it. Okay, so this is going to be our focus here. So how can we, or what do we need to implement a font face of icons? And we just need, in fact, less than a handful of stuff. Okay, we need SVG icons. We are going to use them to create our second need, which is the font face with those icons. And for those of you who knows Figma, uh, usually we deal with Figma because there's a deliver which is the style guides, and the style guides, if they exist, the icons are in that style guide, and we can download them in an SVG format. Okay, then to create the font face, I'm going to show you, or uh, I'm going to create the font face using the Icon Moon tool. It's a website, probably you know it, Icon Moon. Then we need a JSON file with the metadata from the font face, okay, which is quite easy because it's inside the font face zip folder that we download from Icon Moon. Okay, it's there for us. And naturally, we need some knowledge on OutSystems. Not much, but a couple of actions that we are going to perform to display the icons on our screens. So, 4 steps to implement what we are saying here. We need to extract, as I said, the icons from SVG. Okay, sorry. We need to extract the SVG icons from, for example, a Figma file. Then we create our font using Icon Moon. We extract the JSON file from the Icon Moon zip that is generated. And then we grab that JSON file and the CSS, and we add everything inside OutSystems. Okay. So this is the generic idea. I'm going to give you just a quick demo just for you to have a slight idea. I already prepared the module in OutSystems, okay? But if you need more detail, because we don't have a lot of time here during this masterclass, but if you want more detail, more print screens, you can go to the article that we have on our website that João told in the beginning of this presentation. All right, so let's change here. Where is it? It's here. All right. So after we have our set of SVG icons extracted from the Figma style guide, we can go to Icon Moon projects and we can create a new project and import all those icons to that project. I'm not going to do that. It's not in the scope of this presentation, but as you can see here, we have more than 400 icons here. What I'm going to show you very quickly is the settings that I usually use before downloading the font face. Okay, and if you go here to this cork icon, usually this is the settings that I use. I give my font a name. I use a prefix. This will generate a class. For example, if this icon here that you see on the background, it's called dark false, okay, the class will be icon-client-dark false. Okay, this will help me identifying this font face, okay, because I may sometimes have different font faces, and using this prefix, I can make a perfect, I can distinguish both font faces. All right. And there's not much more that you need to do here. With this, you're fine. So when we download it, this basically will create a zip file. Okay. And within this zip file, let me just go here and open the zip file. Let me see. I already have it here. And just a second. Okay, wait, it's here. Okay, so the zip file that you are going to download, right, is this one. And if you extract it, you can see that you have a CSS file that we are going to need, a JSON file that is one of the requirements I told before, and then we have the font files here. Okay, I usually use the WOFF extension. It's basically the TTF, but more compressed, and it brings more metadata within it. Okay, so I usually use the WOFF extension. Okay, so after this, since now we have all we need, the CSS, the font file, and the JSON, what we want is to display everything inside a screen. So our goal is to have something like this. All right, and we are talking again with about more than 400 icons. So we want to have a search, and we want to have a gallery where I can, if I want to use this icon in my screen, I just need to click here, and it's going to copy the class that I need to use in OutSystems. Okay, so the icon that I selected, I can use it. Okay, so as you can see, this is what is being copied. Okay, so if I want, for example, to search for all the icons with the word left, as you can see, in a very quick way, they are displayed here. So this is what we want to achieve. And for this, if we look at a module that I prepared for you, what we have is basically just a handful of stuff. We have our screen. This screen will have basically just a gallery reading from a list, a search input. I'm going to show you very quickly what we have here. Then we have in the CSS all the CSS that we copy from the zip from Iconmoon. Okay, this is what is coming from the CSS file in there. So you have all the classes here, and at the top you have the font family definition and the class definition. Okay, but this is not enough. We need a couple more stuff. We need to add in the resources of this module the WOFF file. Okay, because we are going to have a reference to here in our CSS. Okay, like this, we are saying that this font family will read from this source. And then we need to also place here on resources our JSON file. Okay, and this is where lies the trick. So if we go back to our screen where we want to document all the classes, what the trick is here on this action. Okay, so this action, when it runs, it's basically reading the JSON file, converting this JSON file to an entity that is recognized by OutSystems, Okay, it's going to create a list, and I'm going to use that list, okay, to populate the list which is inside our gallery, this list here. Okay, so we have a list called list classes. All right, and this list classes is coming from here. So in a high view, what we are doing is, first we need to convert the binary data, okay, because the JSON file that we had before here, this is binary data, so we need to convert it to a text type. Okay, and we have this action from OutSystems, binary data to text. Okay, so what we are doing is, okay, so read the content of this file and convert and output that content in a text way, in a text type. So we grab the text and we convert, basically we deserialize, which is JavaScript. We deserialize, and with this, this is also from OutSystems, an action from OutSystems. We are going to deserialize the text, okay, and transform this in something that OutSystems can read. It's like this structure here. So just to make a side note, for those of you who don't know exactly how, but you can create a structure if you give I mean, what I want to say is you can create a structure based on a JSON file. Okay, I'm not going to do it because it's going to create everything that is here. But if you right click here on structure, you have this option here saying add structure from JSON. Okay, if you click it, if you paste here the content of the JSON file and press add structure, OutSystems will generate all the structures that is going to interpret from the JSON file, and you don't need to do anything else. Okay, so since now we have our JSON file is serialized, OutSystems knows how to deal with this, because this is something that OutSystems understands, and this is a list basically. So what we do is we create an iteration to run from the list that is being output here, and what we are going to say is, okay, so the output that I want is a list of type text, and this text is basically all the classes that I can then apply on my screen. I'm going to show you next. So inside this iteration, what we are going to say is, all right, so this class will have the name that is coming from this property here, from the JSON. And we append to the list. And we do this for every class that's in the JSON. Okay? In the end, we have here a simple assign to the output, and that's it. From this point on, I can do whatever I want with this list, display it, copy, change it, reorder. Okay, it's a very normal list. So what we are doing here next is we are going to read from the list, okay? And then inside the list, we have a simple card, and inside the card, we have three elements. This first one is going to we are going to use the icon from OutSystems, the component from OutSystems, to pass in our class, okay? So what we are doing here, we are using the CSS that I showed you before, saying, okay, this icon is going to use these classes. Okay, and these classes are defining a different font family from the default one from OutSystems. Okay, so if I define these classes and then passed in the class from the icon that is coming from the list, if I concatenate everything, what we are going to see is every icon that is coming from the JSON file. All right. So then we have a container with the classes that the class of the icon that we want to display here, okay, like a friendly name in a friendly name manner. And then we have a copy class button, okay? And without going much into detail, basically this button is going to run this client action, which is basically just JavaScript that is going to copy the content of the container of, let me grab it here. So it's going to copy the content of this container. The second one, let me show you. Okay, like this one. Okay, it's going to copy the content of this container here. Okay, and it's going to copy it to the clipboard. Okay, I'm not going into too much detail about this JavaScript here. It's not complex. Okay, so then again, if you want to see this in more detail, you have the full article. Okay, so what will happen is when somebody clicks here on the button, it will copy this class here that we are seeing, okay, to the clipboard, so we can apply it exactly the same way we are applying here these classes. So and this is basically what we need to do to add an entire iconography of inside OutSystems and to document it. Basically, I can show you very quickly. For example, to the search input, I'm just basically applying a filter that is going to run to cycle the list. This is JavaScript, okay? So it's a filter. This is everything I need to implement a search engine. And with this, we will get to this page. So as you can see, it's very quick, searching through for more than 400 icons. It's not heavy, it's very quick. I used this a lot in the past, and yeah, that's it. Okay, so going back to our presentation, like in a conclusion, to give you some conclusions, this process, at least for me, it's the best one that I found so far. Okay, what I can say is, before I found these methods, we had a different one, which basically was just to add the font face to the resources, and then we had a static entity with all the classes, but static entities are heavy to maintain, and they are not very easy to maintain at the same time. Okay, every time I change, or if I had a new icon to the font face, I need to go there, I need to update the entity. The entity will occupy space in the database. Okay, so it's not the best way. Okay, so this method, it's very easy to implement, but also it's very easy to update. Okay, if you want to update the font, if someone asks you, okay, add 3 more icons to the font face, the only thing that you need to do is to generate the font face again using iCommon, extract the JSON, and then update the JSON on the resources. And that's it. You don't need to do anything else. So it's almost zero effort to keep this methodology. Okay, so it's very, very easy. And the beauty of this is that this methodology, since this is using JavaScript, basically, the same methodology, you can implement it in other technologies. Okay, you can implement the exact same methodology, for example, when you are programming in React. Okay, so that's it. This is basically what I wanted to share with you. Hope you enjoy it. Hope this can improve your performance. And João, that's it.
Yeah. I think that the ones that got it real simple from you.
Mhm.
The way you showcase the things, I think that the ones that really got the insight from what this presentation was about, and how they can now start documenting iconography in a flash. So
Okay.
yeah, thanks for the presentation, Pedro, and for the demo. It went really well. And for the ones that almost stood by till the end, uh, thank you all. If you have any type of question, be sure to drop them on the comment section of this video, and me and Pedro will be more than happy to answer all of your questions and doubts that you may have during this presentation. And also be sure to check out uh, Pedro's article that I've mentioned before,
Yes.
and to drop us a like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And yeah, see you on the next masterclass. Thank you, Pedro. Thank you, the
Bye
ones that
bye.
are.
Thank you.
Bye
Hope you
bye.
enjoyed. See you next time.
I see you around.